That open meeting, we can especially here to speak about the peace culture. With the means where we can make a peace.
Oh, Shai, you want to come here?
Only if we could talk to each other and to look to each other, to speak peace and to do peace. And we have to feel it in our hearts that really we want to make a peace, not only talking about the peace. Because the people talking, the government, if they're talking about the peace, is nothing, it's nonsense, you know. And I'm opening now for a question if anybody has my pleasure to answer you. And I think it's better to speak, to start with the question, and I will answer to any question. It's my honor.
Okay, so when someone would like to pose a question to a member of Knesset Zeev, it's a good argument. We actually had a member of Congress here not too long ago, and he began his lecture in a similar way. He says, I want the questions in the beginning, not at the end, so that you can really actually answer the questions that are interesting for you. Is there a brave soul who would like to pose the first question or remark to inspire a response from a member of Knesset Zeev? We have at least one wireless mic, so we can come to you with that. If you could maybe just raise your hand if there is a volunteer, and then briefly introduce yourself when posing the question. This is also for one of the speakers a chance where you can also make a contribution.
If they don't have any question, I will make my speech.
Please.
Okay. First, it's an honor for us to be. The delegation came from Israel, and Rabbi Dagan came especially this morning from Swiss. And we have the governor, Mr. Gershon Mesika, my friend Ramzy. He's really special. He's Ohev Israel, we say. You know what they mean, Ohev Israel? Like brothers we are. You could see rabbis, and like Ramzy, that is really, his religion is so special, and we have Knesset, no member parliament. Okay. We came here to Berlin last night to explain how we could the maximum, like we said, that we could speak to the people, to our friends about the peace, how's the situation in Israel. Am Israel, the Israel nation, was in Israel not from 48. Am Israel, the Israel nation, the Jewish people came to Israel since Avraham Avinu is 4,000 years ago, and 2,000 years ago we have the Bet HaMikdash that destroyed, and since that time 2,000 years, we are the Jewish people. They are in different countries. The most of the Jewish now, they're staying now in the United States. And we have almost half and half, 6 million Jewish people in Israel, and 6 million Jewish people, they are in state, in United States, and others, maybe another 6 million people, Jewish people, around Europe and the other countries. It's not easy for us that we see that so many hates against Israel. It's very, very difficult. Thanks God that Israel, they could hold themselves because איך אומרים, האקדמיה והאקדמי, היכולת של עם ישראל,
The ability of the states of Israel,
יש להם הרבה סייעתא דשמיא, ועם ישראל נשרד ונשאר בזכות זה שנשארו באמונה שלהם. 2000 שנות גלות, עם ישראל נשאר בגלל שהם היו באמונה שלהם, ברצון שלהם לחזור לארץ ישראל.
Member of Knesset Zeev is pinpointing the fact, the beliefs of the Jewish people for the states of Israel and for the sake of the states of Israel is the most important component or element in the standing and the unbelievable standing of the states of Israel against all the hate and against all the barriers and against all the difficulties for such a tiny place like Israel.
אין לנו שנאה בין היהודים לפלסטינאים, שיהיה ברור. פלסטינאים באים אלינו ואנחנו הולכים עליהם. יש בעיה אחת ואנחנו חייבים להכיר בה.
It's a very important, member of Knesset Zeev is saying that it's very important to him to speak about the fact that Israelis do not hate Palestinians. Moreover, he is a rabbi. One of his most important beliefs is for the peace, is for creating a peace and creating a culture of peace. However, that was the good news. The bad news is
צריכים להכיר בהיסטוריה האמיתית של עם ישראל. עם ישראל היה במשך 2000 שנות גלות וקודם חורבן בית המקדש ביהודה ושומרון. הבית המקדש שלנו היה במזרח ירושלים. שילה, בית לחם, זה ארץ אבותינו. אנחנו לא באים חלילה וחס לנשל את הזכויות של הפלסטינאים.
It's very important to say a few historical facts this important conference this morning is that for thousands of years, approximately 3,000 years, the Jewish people used to pray every morning to the return to the states of Israel. And many of the holy houses, holy temples of the Jewish people were destroyed by this hate.
אנחנו חיים ביחד, אנחנו עובדים ביחד. 2 מיליון ערבים ומוסלמים בתוך הקו הירוק חיים איתנו ביחד.
We are working together, the Palestinian and the Israelis. We are living together. We are sending our kids to the kindergarten together. Just to give you a good clue about the numbers, more than 2 million Muslims, Arabs, are living inside Israel peacefully and happily.
הפלסטינאים רוצים להגיע לתל אביב, לחיפה. הם רוצים להגיע להרים של מדינת ישראל כדי לעבוד, כדי לחיות, כדי להתפרנס בכבוד. וברוך השם, יש 10,000 כאלה היום שיש להם אישור, ואנחנו שמחים שהם עובדים יחד איתנו.
And that was about the Israeli Arabs. However, we can speak also about the Palestinians who live beyond the Green Line and beyond the borders of Israel. And they are also eager to come to Israel, to work inside Israel, to work in Tel Aviv, to work in Haifa. They are working, but you have to understand that this hate is the biggest barrier for any coexistence.
כיום יש 400,000 יהודים שחיים ביהודה ושומרון. 400,000, ואותם היהודים אין להם שום בעיה לחיות עם הפלסטינאים בשלום. אני חושב שצריך שאנחנו נכיר בזכויות שלהם והם יכירו בזכויות שלנו. ואני אומר לכם, אם תשאלו את העמך, את הציבור הפלסטיני, הם מעדיפים את המצב הזה שיש open door, יש גבול פתוח בינינו לבינם.
The kept secret, ladies and gentlemen, that comes from Israel is the fact that the border is open. And I'm wishing today that this hate will be vanished and this will be the new ability of those Palestinians to come to Israel and to have the coexistence, and by that Israelis and Palestinians will live cheek to cheek.
אבל צריך לדעת שהמציאות, מי ששולט בעולם, לצערנו הרב, זה הטרור. הוא קובע את האג'נדה של הפלסטינאים, ככה זה בעזה. היום החמאס מנסה להשתלט גם ביהודה ושומרון, ולכן כשבאים ולוחצים על מדינת ישראל לעשות שלום, צריך להבין את הבעייתיות, שהיום אבו מאזן שאנחנו איתו הולכים למשא ומתן, אנחנו לא יודעים מחר מי יהיה במקומו, ואם החמאס לא יכבוש ויקח את הדברים העניין והידיים שלו.
A very quick snapshot about negotiation that's happening this day between Abu Mazen to the heads of the states of Israel. The biggest problem is that we are negotiating with Abu Mazen, but Abu Mazen is not the only governor of the ground. We have the Hamas, and the Hamas is supporting and encouraging terrorism against Israel. And by that, you're not able to do any bridging of peace, any culture of peace. I'm not talking about culture diplomacy. So we're trying to say today that hate is not the solution.
אנחנו פתוחים לשאלות. לא? אוקיי. ואנחנו רוצים לומר לכולם שאנחנו נמשיך את העניין של תרבות לשלום, כי זה הבסיס לדו-קיום, לא רק בין פלסטינים לישראלים, אלא בכלל בכל העולם כולו.
And I would like to have a closing remarks about the importance that I'm mentioning today, that been addressing today from Israel here, for encouraging more and more of a peace, of a channels of peace, of a culture of peace, because this is the only key to any kinds of coexistence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member of Knesset Zeev, for those excellent opening remarks. I would now like to go from Judaism to Islam and actually ask you all to please help me in giving a very warm welcome to the founder of the Oxford Islamic Information Center, Dr. Sheikh Ramzy. If we could please welcome Dr. Sheikh Ramzy. I think you have one over there. There's only one. Could you use the one that you were using?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyid al-Mursaleen amma ba'd. I would like to read one of the verses from our Holy Scripture, Holy Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty God says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha وجعلناكم قبائلا وشعوبا لتعرفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. O mankind, we created you from a man and woman and made you a nation and races to understand each other, to only understand each other. And the best of you is the most pious of you. Dear brothers, friends, brothers and sisters and friends, I would like to greet you with Islamic greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May peace and blessing of Almighty God be upon you all. I make a very short speech because I know that there is no time. Our aim here today is peace, the most noble of goals. But as we discuss this issue, we must be aware that there will be no peace among the nations without peace among the religions, and no peace among the religions without a dialogue between them. We need dialogue. And in order for this to truly happen, we need to leave behind all bitterness and hatred and come together willingly to give peace a chance. In a famous word of Nelson Mandela, he said, "As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I had still be in prison." Thus, if we wish to free ourselves of the prison of conflict and war, we, as individuals and nations, must follow his example and leave all bitterness and hatred behind. With this in mind, I would like to offer a short prayer for peace, for humanity, and the work we are doing here today. Dear God, the glorious, the most compassionate, the most merciful. O Lord, we stand in awe before you, impelled by a vision of human harmony. We are the children of many traditions, inheritor of shared wisdom and tragic misunderstandings, of proud hope and humble successes. Now it's time for us to meet in memory and truth, in courage and trust, in love and promise. In that which we share, let us see the common prayer of humanity. Where we differ, let us wonder at human freedom. In our unity and our differences, let us know the uniqueness that is God. May our courage match our convictions, and our integrity match our hope. May our efforts be accepted and fruitful, and may the work we do here help to spread peace across the world. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Ramzy. It's now a great pleasure for me to invite Mr. Emanuelis Zingeris. If we could please give a warm welcome for Mr. Emanuelis Zingeris. Thank you. Okay. The microphone, if we could bring.
Thank you. Mr. Ramzy, ladies and gentlemen, it's for me a credible honor to see such diverse group. I'm a simple proletariat member of parliament, more like 20 years in parliament, 7 times elected, related to European, to the fight for democracy 23 years ago when we led our revolution, peaceful revolution, following Gandhi type in Middle Europe, and we have joined after that European Union. We are here in very important place, dear friends, in Berlin. In 1933, this place next in Reichstag during the elections failed to be a place of tolerance, not looking that this place was tolerant for hundreds of years. I'm so proud that we are here after that when Germany did their homeworks in reconciliation with the past and evaluated the Nazi past. I'm talking, well, my mother spent 4 years in concentration camp. She is 91 years old, and she was arrested in Kaunas, former capital of Lithuania, being 18-year-old by Gestapo, only for one reason, that she was Jewish. But she was Jewish, she was European, she was smiling with European smile, and she spent 3 heavy years in Stuttgart concentration camp trying to smile against Capo, Gestapo guys, and survived. Only one from 64 members of my family. So the place here is important. Well, the place here withdrew the lessons. And I would like to say, Mark Donfried, thank you very much for collecting us here in the proper place, who withdrew the lessons about Second World War and now try to lead the war against radicalism. Especially when we have here in Europe rise of, during the elections, rise of radical forces and radical parties. So never ever again Europe will become a place like in 39, 40, when the place become a place of hatred. We just talk about love today and hatred, and Sheikh Ramzy and a member of Knesset, Zeev, Nissim, just pointed about possible bridges. One of the most possible bridge next to the religion is democracy. I'm leading the caucus of parliamentarians who are related to community of democracy. So we have 105 countries, democratic countries. In democratic countries, you can be in the Muslim democratic country, you can be Christian in the Muslim society, you can be Muslim in Christian society, you can be Jewish in every society you want. That is the democracy. So I think that next to the religion, next to the ideas here next in Paris, created in 1789, it was the human rights ideas. That everyone have right to have their personal life and personal commitments. So from my point of view, the next big, after just was demonstrated, the greatest, oldest power of love from the 2 greatest religions in the world, Judaism and Muslim faith. So from my point of view, is the next basis, or the basic basis, is democracy. So like member of parliament, like a chairman of parliamentary caucus of democratic countries, I would like to say that we are here committed. I just came back from Ukraine yesterday, from Kiev, on Maidan, on their Independence Square. They're demonstrating in favor of their free choice to be together with Europe. Europe for me means mildness, not pre-war mildness in Reichstag, who compromise letting Nazi party to go and win the elections, but mildness in minds, and at the same time determination to fight that every next have right to have his other opinion. That is our richness, and I absolutely great to this house and actually Levant initiatives next to him to make bridges between the groups who are based on separate opinions, and our agenda should be based on your mind and your message to the world, that we can make bridges, and we should withdraw our lessons from Berlin 33 and not let the people overbooked with hatred to take over the power. Thank you.
תחילה אני רוצה לברך את הארגון ICD בראשות נשיא רומניה לשעבר קונסטנטינסקו, שאיחד פה יהודים, ערבים, נוצרים, סינים מכל העולם בתרבות של שלום, דווקא בברלין שההיסטוריה שלה הייתה נגד השלום.
I would like to first of all to thanks to former presidents of Romania, Continental, and for the ICD, to mark you as well, for the fact that you united so many different and diversified faces who are sitting here today.
הם מוכיחים שהשלום הוא דבר אפשרי ואפשר לבצע אותו.
You are proving by this the fact that the peace is doable.
לי קוראים גרשון מסיקה, בן יוסף, אח של יעקב וטינו, שנהרגו בשואה במחנה ריכוז בז'אדו בלוב.
Shalom, my name is Gershon Mesika, the governor of this Samaria, and I'm a brother to Yosef that was killed in the Holocaust not far away from here.
בשנת 49' הוריי ברחו מלוב עקב הפרעות והגיעו למדינת ישראל ושיקמו את החיים שלהם מאפס.
In 1949, my family immigrated from Libya, ran away from Libya to start a new life in Israel.
אני מושל השומרון, קדנציה שנייה. השומרון הוא חלק של 12% משטח מדינת ישראל.
I came here today to represent the Samaria, who is 12% from the lands of Israel. 12% from the lands of Israel.
כיום בשומרון יש 100,000 תושבים, ביהודה ושומרון יש 400,000 תושבים.
Today in the Samaria, we are having 100,000 residents, and generally in Judah and Samaria, we have more than 300,000 people.
מעבר לקווי 67 יש 720,000 יהודים.
And just continue with the facts, beyond what they call the Green Line, the 1967 borders, we are having more than 700,000 residents.
יותר מ-50% מהאוכלוסייה הם ילדים, כך שהעתיד עוד לפנינו.
More than 50% are the young generation, kids. It means that the future and the hope is ahead of us.
הכנס מדבר על תרבות האחר ותרבות השלום. אצלנו עובדים עשרות אלפים של פלסטינאים, ורק באזור תעשייה ברקן, כפי שהנשיא קונסטנטינסקו ראה, עובדים 6,000 עובדים, מתוכם 3,000 פלסטינאים, 3,000 יהודים ביחד, כתף אל כתף, ליד המכונות.
Today we're talking about knowing the others, knowing the different people, knowing the people that are not like you. We had the privilege to host former presidents of Romania in our villages, and we saw together by our eyes what coexistence is when we visited in the Barkan industrial area, who contains 6,000 workers, and from that, more than 50% are Palestinian workers.
אני רוצה לספר לכם למה באתי מרחק של אלפי מייל לכנס החשוב הזה.
I want to tell you what is the simple reason that I came all the way from Israel for this important conference.
באתי לכאן להעביר לכם את האמת מהשטח ולדבר על עיוות המציאות.
I came today to speak about the truth that comes from the ground, not through filters, not through the foreign media, and not through politicians.
ישראל היא המדינה היחידה בעולם שבירתה מוטלת בספק.
Israel 2013 is the only country, member of the United Nations, that its capital is being challenged every day.
שטחיה ההיסטוריים שאלפי שנים כל יהודי בכל העולם התפלל 3 פעמים ביום לחזור ליהודה ולשומרון, העולם מפעיל לחץ כבד שישראל תוותר על שטחיה ההיסטוריים.
The world, the international community are squeezing Israel to give away piece of lands which precious to the historical and the biblical hearts of the Israelis.
האבסורד שאין מדינה בעולם שיש לה זכויות כה חזקות על הארץ שלה כמו ישראל.
It's absurd that the Jewish people have such a strong right to the lands of Israel.
כל הדתות מאמינות בתנ"ך.
All the religions, the big religions, Christianity, Muslims, and Judaism, are believing in the Bible.
ובתנ"ך עשרות פעמים מוזכרת ההבטחה לאברהם, יצחק ויעקב, לזרעך אתן את הארץ.
And in the Bible, it's written in a very clear way about the commandment of God to our grandfathers to have Israel as the home of the Jewish people.
עם ישראל גר בארץ אלפי שנים עד שגורש על ידי הרומאים. המון ממצאים ארכיאולוגיים מוכיחים שעם ישראל היה גר בארץ ישראל.
You can see in every point in the states of Israel archaeological discoveries that proves very easily about the life, the fruitful life that the Jewish people used to have all over Israel.
מדינת ישראל היא המדינה היחידה בעולם לעם היהודי, בעוד לערבים יש 21, 22 מדינות.
It's very clear that Israel is the only place that can be the house and the homeland of the Jewish people.
לאחר השואה, בה הושמד שליש מעם ישראל, הכיר האומות המאוחדות במדינת ישראל ואישר את הקמתה.
After the Holocaust, the world has confirmed that the Israel will be the house and the home of the Jewish people, and that's after one of a third Jewish from the Jewish people were killed in the Holocaust.
ואכן הגיעו מכל העולם למדינת ישראל, ב-49 היה 600,000 יהודים, היום יש מעל 6 מיליון יהודים.
And therefore, Jewish people all over the world came back and returned to their home in Israel, and therefore, in 1948, you had 600,000 people, and by the fact that a year before, you had only a few thousand people there.
ברצוני להראות לכם מה המשמעות של החזרה לקווי 67.
I would like to show you what is the consequences of this hate and pressure toward Israel going and withdraw to the Green Line, to the 1967 borders today.
כל רוחב מהים לירדן הוא 70 קילומטר.
The range between the Mediterranean to the Jordan Valley is 70 kilometers.
השומרון 55 קילומטר.
Samaria is a 55 kilometers from that.
זאת אומרת, חזרה לקווי 67 תשאיר מדינה עם רוחב 15 קילומטר 9 מייל. זה כמו רחוב אחד בברלין.
Which means that going back to 67 borders, the results of that is that the whole vast majority of the population of Israel will be staying in a 9 miles, which is 15 kilometers, lands for the whole state.
אבא אבן, שהיה שר החוץ, קרא לזה גבולות אושוויץ.
The famous Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abba Evan, used to call those borders the Auschwitz borders.
המשמעות של חזרה ל-67 שהשדה התעופה היחידי יהיה בטווח של קילומטר מהגבול.
Which means that, for example, the airport, which is supposed to be more secured area in the state, will be only 1 kilometer, less than 1 mile from the borders. Just to give you a clue.
מדינת ישראל כל כך קטנה שאת השם שלה אין מקום, צריך לכתוב אותו בים.
The state of Israel is so tiny that you're not able to find its name on the worldwide map, and you can find it somewhere in the ocean.
יש לי את הכבוד להזמין אתכם לבקר ביהודה ושומרון ולראות בעיניים את המציאות ואת האמת ולא כפי שרואים מהתקשורת.
I would like to have the privilege to invite each and every one of you here today to come to our place and to judge by your own eyes and to see the truth.
נסיים בפסוק, עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל.
And I would like to end with the very important words from the Bible, talking about culture diplomacy and talking about diplomacy and peace. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, amen. May God give us a peace for Israel and for the rest of the world with us. Thank you very much.
ראשית, אני רוצה לברך את כל המשתתפות והמשתתפים שהגיעו מכל העולם לכנס החשוב הזה של ה-ICC בראשות ידידנו המכובד, הנשיא פרופסור קונסטנטינסקו.
I would like to first to say again, welcoming, and thank you for having us for this important conference, and to bless all the participants that came here today, and of course the former presidents of Romania, Professor Continental. Thank you for having us today.
והארגון הזה והכינוס הזה הוא חשוב מאוד, משום שכאן מנסים לקדם שלום אמיתי, real peace, peace between people, and not so-called peace between politicians. Since more of 20 years, since Oslo Agreement, we have so-called, you see, peace in the Middle East, peace process. And we have a lot of coexistence, a lot of vacations to leaders, a lot of agreements, but we haven't peace. We haven't peace. In the Middle East, we have a murder, a terror, and a lot of people dead, Jews and Arabs. אומרים אצלנו,
In our place, they used to say,
הר להר לא נפגש,
mountains to mountains can never meet with each other. Mountains to mountains.
אבל אדם לאדם נפגש.
But a mankind toward a mankind, people to people, we surely is going to meet each other in some point.
אצלנו בישראל, אתם יודעים, הייתה סופה בשבוע שעבר, וכל ישראל הייתה מכוסה שלג, אנחנו לא רגילים לזה בישראל, סופה שהגיעה מרוסיה.
I don't know if you know, but we had a very interesting weather coincident this last week in Israel. I don't know if you had the chance to pick up some news from there. But ladies and gentlemen, we had snow almost all over Israel. We're still trying to understand what happened there.
And in the snow, Jewish help to Arabs, and Arabs helps to Jewish, because
Of the snow.
No, in the snow. Because mountain and mountain not meeting, but people to people meeting. But the situation in the Middle East is bad situation, because since Oslo Agreement, we put the terrorist from Tunisia, PLO, and give them into the Middle East. And we take a small problem and do, since Oslo Agreement, a big problem. לפני חצי שנה נרצח בצומת המרכזית בשומרון, צומת תפוח, אביתר בורובסקי.
We're talking today about coming against hate, which, you know, the opposite thing is diplomacy and cultural diplomacy. 6 months ago, a guy named Aviatar Borowski got stabbed to death in the main intersection in Samaria.
אביתר היה אב ל5 ילדים, שחקן תיאטרון שהקדיש את חייו לתיאטרון וליצנות רפואית.
Aviatar was a father for 5 kids, and he was an actor in theater, and he dedicated his life as a medical clown in hospitals in Israel.
הרוצח שלו נתפס על ידי צה"ל, טופל טיפול רפואי כנדרש, ועכשיו הוא יושב בכלא הישראלי.
His murder, the Palestinian murder, got caught by the Israeli security forces, and they took him to Israeli hospital. They cured him, and right now he's in the Israeli prison, life and healthy.
אני רוצה לספר לכם, גבירותיי ורבותיי, את המציאות כפי שהיא כיום במזרח התיכון. אותו רוצח מקבל מהרשות הפלסטינית משכורת עתק כל חודש לחשבון הבנק שלו.
And again, we're talking about right now about the truth comes from the ground, and all of us are sitting here for a very good purpose, for hoping someday we will have a peace, and we're going back to this murder. Then his murder is getting a crazy salary from the Palestinian Authority, which is 12,000 shekels a month for killing a Jew in Israel.
הוא לא מקבל את המשכורת הזו כשוחד או ככסף מתחת לשולחן, הוא מקבל אותו בצורה רשמית על פי חוק רשמי ברשות הפלסטינית.
This salary, it's not something that's been hidden from the media or from the politician. It's not some kept secret in secret room that been agreed. It's been given by law, that been published in official note from the PLO.
בעוד שהמשכורת הממוצעת של מורה ברשות הפלסטינית היא 900 שקל, ושל פועל היא 1,500 שקל, מי שרוצח יהודי ויושב בכלא מקבל 12,000 שקל, לפי חוק.
Just again, to give you the better understanding from the ground, the average salary in the PLO is 1,500 shekel. And again, and this salary goes by law in an official way, only to the one that been involved by murdering and terrorism against Jew.
ואני רוצה לספר לכם עובדה יותר מדהימה, שאת אותו כסף, אותם משכורות לטרוריסטים, שזה מיליארדים,
those salaries that this is billions of dollars,
מגיע מהכסף שלכם.
they're coming from your money, from the money from Europe.
למעלה מ-40% מכספי התמיכות שמקבלת הרשות הפלסטינית מאירופה וממדינות העולם, הולכים בצורה ישירה למימון אותם רוצחים בכלא, לאותו משכורות עתק.
We investigated together with lots of MPs from Europe, and we got into conclusion that more than 40% from the funds that are coming from Europe to the PLO that's supposed to go to the people got stuck in the governmental authority, and most of this money goes to terrorism.
ככה בדיוק לא יוצרים שלום, ככה בדיוק יוצרים
It's exactly
שנאה,
the opposite way how to create and bridging a peace.
ככה יוצרים שנאה ויוצרים טרור.
This is a hate and terrorism, not a peace.
ולכן החשיבות הכל כך גדולה של ה-ICC בראשות פרופסור קונסטנטינסקו,
And therefore, this ICD organization is so crucial that by the fact that you're able to bridge it in and to bring so many, I like to call it diversity faces, sitting together around the table.
שמייצרים שיחות ומפגשים אמיתיים של שלום בין אנשים, שלום אמיתי, לא שלום מנותק של פוליטיקאים בטרקלינים באירופה.
That creating a real peace, not a peace only by official letters or peace between politicians, but peace between people.
רוב הערבים ביהודה ושומרון ורוב היהודים רוצים שלום, רוצים לחיות אחד עם השני בהבנה ולא ברצח הדדי.
Most of the people in the Jewish camp and in the Palestinian camp wants to have a peace.
ואנחנו נמשיך ביחד עם כל המכובדים שכאן לייצר את אותו דיאלוג אמיתי, דיאלוג שיביא דו-קיום, שיביא שלום אמיתי, בשונה מהמצב שלצערנו קיים כיום מאז אוסלו.
So we'll continue to work about coexistence and to find this draft of hope to have a peace one day.
תודה רבה לכולם.
Thank you very much. I will give the professional closing. Third, but not less important, is to try to project the next revolution. I personally project that the diplomacy as we understand today is going to totally change. I think the diplomats will become to be a public diplomats, and therefore I think that, and this is, I'm going back to have an optimistic ending, and this is the good news, ladies and gentlemen. This is the very good news, because in my personal point of view, if I may, I'm only 34 years old, but unfortunately I'm an alumni of 3 different wars. I lost many friends in the combat field, and I do have a very small, beautiful baby girl that are waiting for me in Israel. And I really want that the words that we heard today about having a peace someday will not be something that very goes to the media, but something that really will be able to happen. And therefore, I think that as more as civilian, what I call civilianization of the diplomacy will happen, the more of a chance we will have for a real, credible peace. Thank you very much for having me.
Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, distinguished friends from Samaria, member of the Knesset, Rabbi Nissim Zeev, my brother Sheikh Ramzy, dear assembly, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my thanks and appreciation to Master Lou and to the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy and to the Interparliamentary Coalition for Global Ethics for inviting me to express the point of view of Judaism on the topic developing of culture of peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the Jewish-Israeli side and the situation that they have to face every day. Now, if with your permission you are going to hear the Jewish-European side, and allow me just to ask, what's the role of religion? From a certain point of view, you can say that today in the Western world, religion is a kind of submission to totalitarianism. We can agree with this statement and to come back home in order to lead a battle of existence, a conflict of civilization. But I came, and we came, to bring another message. We came to say, if such a battle exists, there will not be no winners. The most urgent thing to do is not to misuse religion, not to use religion as justification of pain and suffering, to kill or to create suffering on behalf of God constitutes a desecration of the name of God. This message has to be taught in our synagogues, in our churches, in our mosques, and in our schools. We have to work with our children, with our communities on the basis of this text. This message has to be introduced everywhere. Today, this message becomes the real challenge of religion. If it is a challenge of humanity, can I accept someone else's image of God? If I can't, then I am creating God on my own image. To make peace and sign a peace agreement means that I recognize that my opponent is created in God's image. I recognize his humanity. Religion is at the heart of human identity, and its voice has to be heard everywhere. We have to give all the power to those who are fighting against the totalitarian forces, to those who are giving hope to the future of humanity. We need to be active to put an end to the manipulation of holiness, which want to create massacres and bloodshed. The political forces are not able to do it. I don't want to offend anybody here, but I don't know if the political forces are interested to do so. If they are, they can't be alone. The political forces need spiritual support to preserve the holiness of life. They have to accomplish their own tasks, and we ours. We have to work within the framework of the education system to spread the good words to our future political leaders. When the Jew finishes his prayer, he concludes by saying, Osei Shalom b'romav, God who makes peace in the heaven, Hu b'rahamav ya'aseh shalom aleinu, he will make peace upon all of us. Before stating this sentence, we do 3 steps backwards. In such a manner, we show our respect towards God, but the 3 steps backwards have another meaning. We are honoring our fellows. We are respecting the human dignity. To respect human dignity means respecting God. In such a way, we are helping God to make peace upon all of us. Amen. Amen.